Welcome to the Special Chronicles Podcast, where we're giving respect and voice to people with special needs through media. I'm your host, Daniel Smrokowski, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Over the first few weeks of May, we're releasing a weekly 3-part mental health series of encore episodes designed to empower you with first-hand mental health resources and real stories from across the Special Olympics movement. Visit specialchronicles.com/mental health. That's specialchronicles.com/mental health for the show notes for this episode. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our newsletter. And follow us wherever you get podcasts so you never miss a new episode. On this week's episode, the Season 2 finale of our Inclusive Health series, we're joined by Sargent Shriver Global Messenger, Margaret Turley, from Ireland. Margaret brings her leadership, her health, and her lived experience to a powerful conversation about strong minds, one of the key disciplines of Special Olympics healthy athletes. From my 5 years as a Sargent Shriver Global Messenger, I know firsthand how busy the work as an athlete spokesperson on the international level is. The strong minds discipline of Special Olympics' healthy athletes is really important. This is why together we'll explore the emotional and physical signs of stress, the purpose behind strong minds, and how these tools help athletes build healthy coping strategies. Margaret also shares how she empowers all Special Olympics athletes to embrace strong minds as part of their inclusive health lifestyle, both on and off the competition field. And now, let's dive into this inspiring conversation and continue strengthening our minds, our health, and our community right here on SpecialChronicles.com.
Webinar series to teach coaches how to include health education for athletes within the sports session, deliver presentations to 50 coaches before the end of 2025. To be part of a panel discussion for the Winter World Games to discuss health distributes space by people with intellectual disability to a large audience. And also I'd like to attend and to help at the Healthy Young Athlete screening within the region to prepare for giving tours at the World Summer Games in Chile.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. Lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome to Special Chronicles Presents Inclusive Health Series, Season 2, Part 5. This is Daniel Smrokowski. I'm the founder of Special Chronicles and Health Messenger for Special Olympics and a Sargent Shriver Global Messenger alum. SpecialChronicles.com to follow Special Chronicles on socials and wherever you get podcasts. Special Olympics Sargent Shriver Global Messenger Margaret Turley is calling in all the way from Special Olympics Ireland. Joins us this week as we talk about strong minds, discipline of inclusive of healthy athletes. And Margaret, I've heard that you utilize your health messenger experience to champion health lifestyles, particularly for individuals like both of us and over 5 million athletes across the globe with intellectual disabilities. I've heard that you've had a special interest in the strong minds discipline and how those of us Sargent Shriver Global Messengers, athlete leaders, have so many opportunities, and a lot of times it can be hard to struggle that to struggle to how time to juggle the opportunities along with our emotional health. And so I was excited to hear about your project and your platform as a Sargent Shriver Global Messenger, as a health messenger, dealing with strong minds amid the highest athlete leadership role in the movement. So first, why don't we begin and talk and share with us, I made some notes that you saw that I sent you. But what is stress? What's some of the emotional signs and physical signs of stress?
Yes, so good question. Some of the signs as emotional and physical signs of stress can be if people start to say overeat, or maybe if they're a lot quieter than they used to be. They might be more like keeping to themselves. They might look a bit sad. They might be crying more. They might not want to talk, or they mightn't be as chatty as normal, or they might not turn up to the training sessions and stuff. And the physical signs could be more like, say, they might come out in like rashes, or they might feel like more anxious and more stressed, or they might be like out of breath more, or like just look more agitated, flustered. They could be like dropping things or falling more, things like that.
Awesome. And some other notes that I want to share with all listeners is some of the emotional signs, in addition to what you said, Margaret, is being easily upset or mad, feeling overwhelmed, having difficulty relaxing, feeling bad about yourself, avoiding others, can't focus, always worrying, poor judgment, or poor decision-making, some of the emotional signs. And then physical signs, you might have low energy, headaches, upset stomach, tense muscles, trouble sleeping, nervousness, chest pain, and rapid heartbeat, and aches and pains could be some physical signs. Switching gears around to a little bit about strong minds, as you know, and as I know, and as health messengers we know, Special Olympics, healthy athletes, one of the disciplines is strong minds that helps to develop coping strategies for our emotional health. And it isn't just one thing, but what are a few of the techniques that we have as strong minds? I am for those of you in the studio, for those of you watching the video, you see I've got this handmade a stress ball. It's a balloon with some rice in there. It's a stress ball. But what's some of the techniques that we have that you can you can learn and 5 techniques that you can do daily for emotional health?
Yeah, so the 5 techniques that I would like to talk about today would be, one of them would be, as you said, the stress ball. So to have something, which doesn't have to be a stress ball, it could be a handmade one like you have yourself, Daniel. It could be one just like some socks rolled up, something squidgy that you can like squeeze, kind of soft. And then you could have, one of the other techniques would be do deep breathing, do like mindful breathing, coloring, listening to music, talking to people can help. You know, as the saying says, a problem shared is a problem halved, I think the saying is. So that can also help. And also to do some yoga or Tai Chi, or go for a walk in nature, or if you have a pet, a cat or a dog, or any animals, sometimes people can find that really helpful as well to bring you back down and to reset.
Welcome to Old National Bank. Is that a suit of bubble wrap?
Hi. Yeah, I'm all about protecting myself and my finances. I understand Old National takes protection seriously.
You bet. We protect you with advanced fraud monitoring and secure digital banking to protect you today, and dedicated personal bankers to protect your tomorrow.
I'm impressed.
So bubble wrap, huh?
Yeah, came with my couch.
Financial protection for today and tomorrow. Old National Bank. Just another reason to get old. Member FDIC.
Awesome. Some other ones, in addition to what you shared, Margaret, I love those ideas. Some other techniques that you guys might also be helpful to know is to think positive thoughts, structuring. You can use some of the Fit 5 exercises for that, and also getting support, seeking support from others, give others a smile, a fist bump, or words of encouragement instead of a high five. You can also find strong support people in your circle, in your family, in your friends, your coach, that help you to feel happy and strong and help support others. Now, we mentioned a little bit earlier, and for those of you listening to this Inclusive Health series, stay tuned to episode 604. That will be dropping on this podcast on December 9th to hear the full episode with Margaret. But we mentioned a few times your platform, a big part of your role as a Sargent Shriver Global Messenger is dealing with strong minds. So can you tell us about your project with strong minds and how you are helping your fellow Sargent Shriver Global Messengers, athlete leaders, coaches, staff with strong minds?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to create a poster with the key information regarding the Strong Minds Help Your Lives program. I will do 2 90-minute sessions through Zoom. I will invite the SSGMs to register for the sessions via email and calls. I will gather necessary resources needed for the training. I will link it with Brandon and Christina for the translation to translate the material to other people's languages, and I will practice delivering the content before I do it. And then I will link in with the Director of Coach Education and Training to see if it would be possible so I could organize global webinars to coaches to talk about how they could include the health education for the athletes in their sports session.
Awesome. I love that. And for those of you listening in, if you are on the Global Athlete Leadership Council, if you are involved in this movement, stay tuned. I'm sure Special Olympics will share if Margaret is going to be speaking on a upcoming global webinar. But it's exciting to hear because it's important. Mental health is in the news a lot, and emotional health is talked a lot about now. But I loved hearing that, something that I wish I knew a little bit more about during my time as a Sargent Shriver Global Messenger. So I'm excited that you are making that a priority. And making that a big part of your platform as a Sargent Shriver Global Messenger. Before we get into the final segment, we always include, but I'm going to conclude this segment before we get to the final segment. I've asked the other guests on our Inclusive Health series the same question, and we want our listeners to really not only consume the content, but take action into their communities. And so, let's go ahead and roll that bumble.
We're not just athletes.
We are the ambassadors of an uprising. Peaceful protesters.
In a rebellion against anyone
who has a fear of difference.
Difference.
Our demands are
equality.
Dignity.
And the recognition of our
shared humanity. We will not stop
or accept anything less.
Today, our world is
more divided than ever. And coming together has never been more urgent.
The revolution
is inclusion.
Find out more at jointherevolution.org.
I didn't give you this question ahead of time, but it's something that we want our listeners to take action in their communities and bring inclusive health. And so, what does inclusive health mean to you? What does inclusive health mean to you.
And inclusive health to me means inclusivity. It means being able to take part in your sports, having a place to learn how to be part of a team, to learn how to participate in an individual sport, if that's what you are, like skiing or golf, or then if it's basketball or soccer or I don't know, there's so many I can't even think of all of them. Also, inclusive health also means being able to go to your dentist, having access to your dentist, being able to get your teeth checked, being able to go to the hygienist, being able to go to your doctor when you're sick, or if you have a cold, or if you need to get a form signed, or things like that. Also, to be able to talk about your mental health, to be able to talk to someone like a psychologist or a counsellor, and to know that it's okay to go to these people, and it's okay to need help, and not to be afraid to say, wait a minute, hang on, I need help. I need to have access to a dentist, to a doctor, and to be able to go and use your own voice, and to be able to stand up for ourselves and to talk for ourselves instead of always having someone talking for us.
Awesome. I love that. We're going to take one final break. When we get back, for those of you that are listening to this inclusive health episode, please go follow Special Chronicles wherever you get your podcasts, specialchronicles.com/listen. And the full episode is going to drop on December 9th, episode 604. So stay tuned to December 9th for the full episode with Margaret. We'll be back with some final thoughts right after this break, or for those of you listening to this inclusive health episode, we'll be back in a couple of months with much more from Margaret, Sargent Shriver Global Messenger from Special. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles Podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smrokowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks, as always, to our business manager, Daniel Smrokowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smrokowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.